Welcome back to your channel, Pelican Bay K9s Dog Talking News, giving it to my brothers and sisters the way I always do, man. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Big thanks, big shout out to all the pet lovers out there, everybody that's watching the video, everybody that watched all the videos in the past, everybody that purchased the book. Big thanks to everybody, man, all the pet lovers and dog lovers across the country, across the world. First thing I want to start off, I want to send a big shout out and salute to my brother Dante, holding it down in West Virginia. He sent me a little info about fleas because he's watching a video that we did about the fleas and stuff. And for anybody that's having a real hard time with fleas, here's something you can use. And what you do is you put it in your soil and let it just sit. Let it soak into your soil or your dirt or whatever you got, your grass, and let it sit. And you get the edible one. It's two different kinds. One is edible and one is not. The food grade is the kind you're going to get. It's called diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth. I could be pronouncing it a little bit wrong. Diatomaceous earth though. And this is a bag of it. And you can get different name brands because I've seen different name brands on the website when I was checking it out. But basically, you're going to sprinkle it across your ground and let it soak in. It's going to, kill your fleas and kill a lot of your other insects, that you don't really need around as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there, man, for anybody, that may be having flea problems. Because like I said before, this is one of the few years that I've seen fleas year round. From the summer to the winter to the summer again. Now, I didn't see them when the snow was out there. But I definitely seen them before it starts snowing. So maybe it's something that brothers and sisters can use out there. Maybe it's something that a lot of people are already using, but just check it out, man, if you're having flea problems. I want to speak on this, I was taking a lot of time out, to write my book. And in this time, I reflected on a lot of things, in my life that was going on around me. Give you time to just look at stuff, man. And that's one thing I like about writing. It's kind of like going fishing for brothers who like to go fishing and just relax. You get lost into whatever you're doing. You're not worried about all that other stuff. So the thing is, it allows me to see, man, when it comes to this dog game, you really gotta just do what you do, and truthfully, don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about nothing else, because it's like I'm switching up my focus. I'm switching up my focus and focusing on people doing positive things. People, I'm still doing my news. But when it comes to these animals, man, I can care less how a person feel or what a person got to say. If you ain't trying to bring something positive to the table. Writing this book helped me to sit down and realize, man, it's so much envy in this pit bull, what they call community. I can only surround myself with positive thinkers. People who trying to do the right things, and when it comes to these swamps, they filled with non-believers, people with no goals, no aspirations, trying not to do anything. And then they trying to keep you on that level and feed you that same information to say, oh, you can't do this, oh, you can't do that, oh, you can't this and that, this and that. Like I said before, even the statement that brothers make, oh, you get in these pit bulls trying to get rich. You're trying to get rich. Listen, if you go about it their way, you're going to get it their way. When you update with the times, then a lot of them can't tell you about what's going on in updated times because they're not trying to do it. Like, I don't agree with everything Chico say, but he was right about something, man. Them swamps. The swamps is more than just figure of speech, and people want to say it when they want to talk trash about a certain group of people in the dog. The swamps is more than that. The swamps is real, man. The swamps is a way of thinking that these brothers are stuck with in their head. You know, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to get it out. It's just their way of thinking. In one little bowl, you know, and the man was right, man. The thing about it, anybody that's trying to do right, anybody that's trying to do positive with these dogs, anybody that's trying to build a brand up, I guess, with these dogs, the thing is, we got to separate ourselves completely from the swamps. You know, and when I say that, I don't mean, oh, you better than me. None of that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to understand what level you on. And it ain't because, oh, we got these kind of people or these kind of, no, it's because you keeping yourself on that level or you putting yourself on that level. You know, and don't hinder or don't stop nobody else from trying to take them steps to go up that, you know, go up them stairs. Because in them swamps, man, if you, the thing about it, a lot of people like the swamps. There's a lot of people that don't got swamp mentality, but you don't mind being in the swamps. And see, this is the thing about it. I don't got time to be in the swamps, period. You know what I'm saying? I gave enough time for all that stuff. You know, I don't got time for it because at the end of the day, you know, I don't mind being around people that talk shit, but I can't be around people who don't got goals. You know what I'm saying? I can't be around people who try to limit mine. You know, and I ain't trying to, you know, I'm not trying to limit yours, so don't limit mine. You know, and at the end of the day, man, all I see is that type of energy coming from what they call the swamps. You know what I'm saying? That's all I see is that type of energy. The swamps, you talk against doing anything right with the pit bull. But only thing you have yet to produce me is a bunch of news articles where you're getting busted every other month. You see them in the swamps. Because real dog men don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And sometimes it ain't what you got, it's what you do with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these brothers, they just don't understand. They never gonna understand. So at the end of the day, you know, me, you, the next person, her, we all gotta understand that they just gonna be ignorant, they just gonna be idiotic, and they just gonna be in the place they gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see no other way to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no other way, period. You know, it's just too much ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with a sport or you're dealing with a game where the name of the game is to have a top dog, you know, people do whatever they can to make themselves or to make their appearance seem that way. You know, and I ain't with all that. You know, I'm with making my bulldog famous. You know, not going to try make my pedigree make me famous. You see, that's the thing about it, and that's why, you know, I've been focusing on my book. And the thing about it, see, what the haters don't understand, and what they're gonna realize one day, you know, a book is different than a magazine. You know, and I'm not saying, like I said before, this is not to discredit nobody, but this is to encourage anybody. You know, books last forever. Books gonna outlive some of y'all haters. Some of y'all haters will be in y'all grave, and that book will still be pumping. You know, and this is the thing about it. You know, like I said before, it seems like a lot of these folk in this game, you trying to make that tough guy image so much to the point that you just, you know, you don't believe nothing. You don't believe anything is possible. And like I said before, my young brothers, salute to all my young brothers out there. You know, like I said before, I'm speaking to y'all specifically, man, too, as well. You know, don't let these old schoolers feed you shit to keep you on a certain level, not to bypass what they talking about. You know, because when I was 19, 20, 21, 22, is when I did the most things with my dog to accomplish the most things I could accomplish with my dog at the time. The only thing I would say I did wrong is not sit on my dog long enough. Other than that, condition was straight, everything was straight. Just didn't sit on him long enough. You know, other than that, man, you know, don't be gassed up with these old school stories and all that other shit. Like, you can't bypass that stuff like this. See, in this dog game, we got too many Indians and not enough chiefs. You know, normally we'll say it like oh, we got too many people trying to be chiefs, not enough Indians. You know, or whatever. Man, listen, you got too many Indians and not enough chiefs, man. Who told you couldn't be a chief in this game? My young buck, my brother coming up in the game, just getting started in the game, you know, different how old you is. You know, who told you couldn't be a chief? A lot of these old schools, they live by certain codes, they live by certain rules, and they gonna always think that way. These always gonna be their heroes. These always gonna be the people that they feel like is top echelon in the dog game. When the dog game is still revolving, still going. You know, the dog game may not even be what it in the next, say, 40 years. Dog game may not even be close to what it was, you know, back in the 70s. And there's the thing about it. We can't go off of how the dog game didn't switch from the 1900s to, say, the 70s to the 80s. You know, bulldogging was bulldogging. Man, you're getting technology now. We're getting in the age of technology. That shit changes everything in the dog game. You know? All the way around. You know, I'm going to say it like this right here, right? A brother might be went from the 80s all the way to the 90s. Back then, right? And didn't have the information about these dogs. Now, he went 10 years and he didn't have the information about these dogs that one brother right now can get in 1 month time. You know, there was no access to it. So you telling me if you can get this much information and this much, things have changed this much, you know, it's going to be different, man. Brothers not going to have to rely on the things that the brothers from the 80s and the 90s had to rely on to make a couple dollars off the dogs. Plain out and simple. But you're going to always have folk, you know, that try to keep some of these younger brothers from advancing their mind in the situation to understand, I want to get this paper. I love my dog. I want to keep my dog and I want to stay out here. You see, freedom is priceless. You know what I'm saying? That's priceless. So if I can make the same amount of money you making and get brothers great bulldogs and I can do it while staying free, who benefit at the end? Who really made power moves at the end? See, in this dog game, man, my brothers and my sisters and everybody, you know, you gotta go forward. You can't be stuck in one place going backwards. You know what I'm saying? So what we about to do, we about to check out this news article with these brothers in Georgia or involved with a situation from Georgia a couple years back. Everybody took plea deals. Y'all check this out. You know where you got it from first. Fair and uncut, raw and unbiased. Fair and unbiased and raw and uncut. Pleas K9s, let's get into it.
8 South Georgians, along with 6 others, have been convicted in a large-scale federal dogfighting case. Whale reported in February 2024 that the defendants were charged in a major dogfighting event that occurred in April 2022 in Donaldsonville. According to a release from the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, the following people have accepted the guilty pleas: Tamikal Elijah, 48, of Donaldsonville, Georgia; Marvin Pulley, the third 53, of Donaldsonville and Jakin, Georgia; Brandon Baker, 42, of Panama City, Florida; Christopher Travis Beaumont, 38, of Panama City, Florida; Herman Buggs Jr., 57, of Donaldsonville, Georgia; Terrence Davis, 46, of Pansy, Alabama; Timothy Freeman, 27, of Bainbridge, Georgia; Terrell Gansey, 35, of Panama City, Florida; Gary Hopkins, 67, of Donaldsonville, Georgia; Cornelius Johnson, 40, of Panama City, Florida; Rodrecus Kimball, 44, of Donaldsonville, Georgia; Donametric Miller, 42, of Donaldsonville, Georgia, Willie Russell, 43, of Blakely, Georgia, and Frederikus White, 36, of Panama City, Florida. The defendants and others brought a total of 24 pit bull-type dogs to fight that April 2022 weekend in a series of matches. Law enforcement personnel who disrupted the event found numerous dogs inside crates and cars on the property. The participants used their cars to store dogs who had already fought, as well as those whose handlers were awaiting their turn in the fighting pit. Some dogs were kept on chains on the property. A total of 27 dogs were rescued, including one found in the pit with severe injuries, which died shortly after. The dogs in the cars also bore recent injuries and historical fighting scars. Under federal law, it is illegal not only to fight dogs in a venture that affects interstate commerce, but also to possess, train, transport, deliver, sell, purchase, or receive dogs for fighting purposes. All defendants but Freeman pleaded guilty to felony conspiracy to violate the animal fighting prohibition of the Federal Animal Welfare Act. Defendants Beaumont and Miller also pleaded guilty to sponsoring or exhibiting, i.e., handling, a dog in a dogfight. The DOJ said in a release that Baker, Davis, Gansey, Johnson, Pulley, and White further pleaded guilty to possessing and transporting a dog for purposes of using the dog in an animal fighting venture. Freeman pleaded guilty to spectating at an animal fight. Defendants Miller and Pulley also pleaded guilty to the unlawful possession of a firearm by a person with a prior felony conviction. Russell is set to be sentenced on February 28. The court has not yet set sentencing dates for the other defendants. Each defendant faces maximum penalties of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine per count of animal fighting charges. Miller also faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine on the firearm charge, and Pulley faces a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison on his firearm charge.
Okay, now, see them brothers, looking at 5 years, they said a piece or whatever, and they was caught in the box. Georgia, damn, that's mighty funny. And we talking federal. Them brothers took federal pleas. 5 years. They ain't even got that yet. They say that's what they facing. For 500 years. You already know what I'm getting at. 500 years, 5 years. Caught in the act, wasn't caught in the act. I mean, just these cases alone that's happening after this brother goes to jail, his lawyer can take in and use as, I guess some type of evidence saying this is like overdrive. You know what I'm saying? What was y'all thinking? We can see 10 years, 15 or something. Oh man, he got 20 years. We wouldn't probably be talking about that as much if that dude would have got 20 years. Because that's normal time for when you commit crimes and stuff. Now we probably would have still said that was over too much or whatever, but we wouldn't have been talking about the 500 years situation. Now if you take every last one of them brothers that's involved with that situation in Georgia, I think it's about 15 or how many of it is. You take all of them and put 5 years apiece on all of them, you still don't get 500 some years. They just don't add up, man. Just don't add up. You see, my goal isn't to have 100 dogs and be known as the biggest dog. That ain't my goal, man. I'm trying to make millions off myself. I'm the most valuable player in this team. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one making the dog do the tricks and making the dog do this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I said, my brain, is something that, you can't control. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me I can't have 15. I gotta have my dogs like this. No, man. Y'all are the value. I can't push it to the next man. I can only speak for myself because everybody's esteem is at a certain level. Some people just never gonna be shit, and it just is what it is. You content at being nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean, straight negative shit every damn day. You know, like a lot of my brothers say, today's time, negative is the positive and the positive is the negative. You know, y'all big up brothers that do wrong like it's good stuff, and don't big up brothers that do the good stuff. Y'all treat the brothers that do the good stuff like they the ones did something bad, and the brothers that do bad shit, y'all big them up. And then you get mad when somebody call you out. That's why I say, man, you know, I know what I'm doing, you know, but I'm speaking on from anybody. The swamps ain't the place for you. You know, too much negativity, too much bullshit, period. You know, and a lot of people gonna fit in the swamps. You know, that a lot of y'all keep on high calibers. And when I say that, because simple fact, you're not trying to better the breed. You know what I'm saying? These old stories and all that stuff is good, man. But we're not living in them old day times. We're not living in that story where we can walk around on that page in that journal. These brothers walk outside today, they liable to see a police in the front yard or a police down the street messing with them about a dog. Something they got some bullshit from one of these other dog channels that they thought was okay. You know, so like I said, man, it's just different day, different times. My respect in this dog game for different folk, it ain't where a lot of people's on is. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect you for the story. I respect you for what you're doing in modern day times. You know what I'm saying? You know, a dog story is what it is. You know, I can give you sample stories all day long. You know, but what am I doing right now with these dogs? What am I doing for the community with these dogs? You know, I'm far more valuable to the dog community, you know, than trying to, and when I say make millions, it ain't selling puppies. You know, I got more to offer the dog community than selling a puppy. Unlike everybody else. But I can't worry about everybody else. You know, you know what I'm saying? I just got to play it the way it is. Like I always say, man. The swamps, like I said, the swamps gonna be the swamps. Separate yourself from the bullshit. If you're one of your friends or different people, they want to stay content with swampy activity, you know, messy, swampy activity, let that be them. You know? And when I say swamps, I'm talking about real swamps. I ain't talking about on YouTube channel battling none of that type of stuff. You know, I'm talking about y'all swamp ass dudes out there. You know? Like I said, most of them full grown men. 45, 50 years old, 40 years old, 39 years old. Ain't no good for the dog game, man. And just where it's gonna be, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about a video though. I do want to talk about a video that I'm gonna show. You know, with the police, the pit bull attacking the police officer. You know, and it was on one of them other platforms, but I had to do my editing to the video kind of, so you know you're not gonna see the whole screen, but you're gonna see enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, in the video where the police officer or the animal control lady getting attacked by the pit bull and he's grabbing her foot and the other man swinging a stick. You know, let's get into that real quick, man, and check this out. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what to say about this. You know, I just don't know. I don't know what to say about this. So many different things I can talk about and I'm going to speak about it. But let's get into this video, man. Pelican Bay K9s, dog talk and news. Let's go.
Get that dog! Get that dog! Get your dog! Get your dog! Get your dog! Get your dog back! No! Oh my I know. Head a quarter, Uniform Delta Police. Jump! Even never do that. Oh my God. Uniform Delta Police. Jump! Let me get out there now. Go keep it. Let me get started. Please, get that phone. Jump! Go on. Get the ball off of that.
All I can say is, there's no way that police officer had a firearm on him. No way he had a firearm on him and he was going through all that. That woman got attacked. Now, you know, in any instant that we done cover all these articles, before the police officer even get bit, they're going to lay that dog down. You mean to tell me she getting bit on the leg and he coming in with a stick swinging? You know, and then when you look at the video, it looked like he closed the gate so she couldn't get out with that dog on her. You know? And I would say this is a joke if the dog wasn't actually biting her foot. You know, only way I can say this is a joke if they rigged that up and she got on a bite suit up under that. And, you know, but pretty much the feet, you know, if he got the feet, I don't know how they're going to cover the feet up. But if she got on a bite suit, that's the only way I can say, you know, they rigged that up. But in my opinion, it's real, you know. And I wondered, did the police officer lose his job, you know, when they got back to the office? The man officer, you know, if he didn't lose his job, he will be clowned at work by his co-workers, you know, as long as they work together. What you gonna do like you did that day over there with Officer Jane? You know, I never seen that before. And I'm quite sure nobody else have either when it comes to an officer protecting one of their own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if my dogs would have ever attacked one, you know, Lord forbid, if my dogs would have ever attacked an officer, I would hope that's how he reacted to the situation. You know, give him some baby taps, get up out of there. Hey, look at that officer legs, man. You know, as he straddled back, he got a good stance on him. You know, they say if you put your feet too close together, you're easy to push down, easy to stumble, especially like in boxing and stuff. You know, but that dude got a stance on him, boy. He making sure he can get out of the way of that dog. You know what I'm saying? And he making sure that woman know that he know that dog is attached to her and she ain't coming out that cage with that dog attached to her. I want to send a big thanks, man, to everybody that been supporting me over the years, everybody that been rocking with me over the years, whether it's the channel, whether it's my dog training. You know, I want to send a big thank you and big shout out to Miss Tracy. You know, all my folk across this country, man, and across this world that be supporting Pelican Bay. You know, just trying to stay on the positive end when it comes to these dogs. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's too easy to drift off, but on what I'm doing, you know, as far as the way I'm thinking it, I ain't drifting off. You know what I'm saying? I just know one thing, you know, when I had sat down and took the time just to do a lot of thinking while I'm writing and doing certain things, you know, I just sit back and evaluate, man. You know what I'm saying? Sit back and evaluate. And like I always tell brothers, man, my young brothers, pay attention, man. But I ain't staying in here too long, man. Just give my brothers and sisters a little bit of dog talk, a little bit of dog news, you know. and keep it pushing, man. Y'all stay positive. Y'all stay legal. Y'all stay safe out there. And remember who you rocking with, man. PBK9s, and we out.